Here's the answer to question 4D. We want to solve this equation here. So I first of all notice that we've got a quadratic, and one of the things that I know about solving quadratics is I want it in the general form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So I want to get in this form equal to 0. So that means that value of 5, I need to move that across to the other side. So that's my first step. So I'm going to get 3x squared plus 14x. That 5 moves across and becomes minus 5, and then I've got nothing left on the other side. So that's my first step, is to get into that form. Now what I want to do, because the coefficient is not 1, the coefficient of x squared is not 1, that means we've got a different process to use. So what I need to do is I need to take that coefficient of x squared, which is 3, and the number by itself, which is negative 5, and multiply those together. And now I need to look for all the factors of negative 15. So all the different ways I can multiply two numbers to get negative 15. So I could do 1 times negative 15, or negative 1 times positive 15. 2 can't do, but I could do negative 3 times 5, or positive 3 times negative 5. Can't do any other, but those are the only factors that I've got. Now what I need to do is I'm trying to see which one of these factors, when added together, will add to 14. So if I do 1 plus negative 15, that's going to give me negative 14, not the answers that I want, but negative 1 plus 15, that's going to give me the value of 14 that I'm looking for. So that tells me that that combination is what I want, this negative 1 and 15, that's the combination I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my 3x squared alone. I'm going to leave the minus 5 and the equal to 0. And instead of writing positive 14x, I'm going to rewrite that in these two parts. So I'm going to write that as plus minus 1x plus 15x. Alright, so I'm using that negative 1 and that positive 15. And so that's all I've done is minus 1x plus 15x. When I add those, that'll give me my 14x. Now I'm going to take the first set of numbers and then the second set, and I'm going to factorise each of those pieces separately. So 3x squared minus 1x. What do they have in common? They've got x in common. So if I take an x out, I'm left with 3x take away 1. Now do the same for the second set of expressions. 15x take away 5. I could take a 5 out of that, and I'm left with 3x take away 1. Now what hopefully we notice is that bracket and that bracket are both the same. So that means I can factorise that 3x minus 1 out. And when I factorise that out, I'm left with x plus 5. Okay, now I can finish solving this. And I know if I multiply 0 by anything, I'm always going to get an answer of 0. So either this first bracket, 3x minus 1 is equal to 0, or the second bracket, x plus 5 is equal to 0. But if one of those brackets equals 0, the whole answer is going to be equal 0. So 3x, take the minus 1 to the other side, that gives me positive 1, and then divide through by 3, x is equal to 1/3, that is one solution. Or the other solution, we take that 5 to the other side, and becomes x equals negative 5. So there are my two solutions to this problem.